तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ peace 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 बोलो सद्गुरु शिवानंद महाराज जी की जय श्री गुरु विष्णुदेवानंद महाराज जी की जय जय Om Namah Shivaya, good morning. So we'll open Transcending, this beautiful book, Vishnudevananda Upadesha, and see what Swami Vishnudevananda would like to teach us this morning. So Swami Vishnu is teaching. I don't have a clue. Anyway, he's teaching something and drawing something on a blackboard. And this is from the chapter Mind. Very short one. So Vishnu says, praise and censure are the same for one who has got control over the mind. Heat and cold are one and the same for a yogi. Victory and defeat are one and the same. So this teaching is a teaching from the Bhagavad Gita that Lord Krishna again and again repeats when he teaches Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And in some verses, Lord Krishna gives a more concise version. In some verses, he gives the full version. But let's break it down. The full version. So in the full version, Lord Krishna says, in heat and cold, in pleasure and pain, in victory and defeat, and in censure and praise, keep your mind steady. Keep your mind under control. Keep your mind of the same vision. Now, what does it mean? Let's first of all understand why the repetition. Because basically in the yogic scriptures, in scriptures written in Sanskrit, especially holy scriptures, there is repetition is called a defect. If you are just repeating yourself, even in conversation, if I just try to repeat myself again and again, at a certain point you'll tell me, Swami Shambhu, I got it. Move. We understood. We're not done. So, if the scriptures repeat themselves, it's not because they don't think, they think that you didn't get it. They hammer the point, but go deeper into more substantial and more fundamental dimension of the same concept. So, why is this repetition of heat and cold, pleasure and pain, victory, defeat, censure and pain and praise? So first of all, let's start with the heat and cold. Heat and cold are objective experiences. You can measure. You can measure, and globally and universally we can agree, that if the temperature drops, let's talking in Celsius, if the temperature goes to 0, we can say this is quite a cold weather, right? If the temperature goes to 30 degrees, we say, wow, it's a hot day. So we can agree objectively on this experience. So Krishna says, whether the experience be objectively this or that, objectively, keep the mind the same. But you say, Lord Krishna, Swami Shambhu, what do you mean the same? This is cold, I'm shivering. This is hot, I'm sweating. I feel myself becoming a puddle. How can I be the same? You have to be the same because you have to choose where your attention goes. When your attention goes to the heat or to the cold, then of course your reaction will be different. But as you are able, in spite of the power the experiences over you, to pull your attention inwards in both these extremes and in every part of the spectrum. See that you are managing your attention and bring it in, no matter what. Sameness means that you are able to draw the attention in and realize that in both these, the heat and the cold, the feeling that you are becoming a puddle and the feeling of the shivering, there is one same light of awareness that illumines both these experiences. If that light of awareness was not there, both these experiences will not be there. Just like in a deep sleep. When a person is deep asleep, really, totally, knocked out, whether it is freezing or whether it is really hot, what will be the experience? What will be the experience? No experience. Why? Because the one who is the awareness is not there to illumine the experience. Therefore, there is no experience. So, while the cold is there, while the heat is there, bring your attention to the same light that illumines these both experiences. Okay? So this is heat and cold. Then we are going, deeper in pleasure and pain. Now tell me, is heat pleasurable or coolness pleasurable? Is heat pleasurable or coolness pleasurable?
Depends.
When somebody says heat. Okay, so for Hanuman, heat is pleasurable unconditionally, absolutely. I'm asking you, is heat absolutely, unconditionally pleasurable? No, it is. Pleasure and pain are relative. If it's a very hot day, and you go into the walk-in cooler, you feel, oh, it's so nice, it's so cool. But when it's very cold outside, and then you go into the walk-in cooler, you feel, oh my God, it's so painful. So, is the walk-in cooler is now confused. Am I pleasurable? Am I painful? What am I? Who am I? Walk-in cooler gets really confused about his true self. Well, it's relative. When you have an extreme aggravation of one element, the other one that will pacify. So if you have an aggravation of heat, coolness will pacify and will feel good, will feel pleasure. If you have cold aggravation, then heat will feel so good and pacified. So Krishna says, whatever will be the aggravation and whatever will be the pacifier agent, which will seem to be so pleasure and painful, even this pleasure and pain are not there if the light of awareness is not there. In deep sleep, there is no pleasure, there is no pain. There is no experience because the light of awareness is not connected to even the inner, you see? So we talked about outer experience, objective outer experience. Now we are talking about subjective inner experiences of pleasure and pain, which are more emotional in nature. Okay. Let's say I have now overcome the pleasure and pain, which are, connected to the objective experiences. Now comes another sense of pleasure, The sense of pleasure because of victory, and the sense of pain because of defeat. So, when I can control my mind and I can control my senses, you cannot. I can. I have overcome the pull of the senses. I have overcome the distractions of the mind in the form of outward going tendencies towards, heat and cold, even towards the internal experiences of pleasure and pain. I have gained victory over it. I have gained victory over it. From that victory, a sense of ability is there. And from defeat, there is a sense of inability. When we fail in something, immediately we feel that we are such a failure. Have you ever experienced it? You see everybody do something, you try it, and you fail. And it's so painful. It's much painful than the pain of cold or heat. It's much pleasurable to feel that you are victorious than the, pleasure of the outside objects. Krishna says, go beyond it. Go beyond the pleasure and the pain of victory and defeat. The sense of being able, the sense of being a failure. Go beyond it. Because even these stigmas, even these perceptions or representations that the mind create for you are only there because there is the light of awareness to shine on them. Even if you are the most worst failure, when you are deep asleep, this sense of being a failure is not there. It's totally gone into blankness because the light of awareness is not there to illuminate. And then the highest, the one that is, the toughest to go beyond. Censure and praise. Because victory and defeat is something against subjective. It's something against subjective that I feel a sense of, victory. I feel a sense of, being a failure. But if everybody praise me and tell me, Swami Shambhu, wow, you are such. This is, Swami Shivananda says, it's very easy to renounce position and possession. Very easy to renounce connections and relationships. Very easy even to renounce achievements. But it's very, very, very hard to renounce name and fame. Very hard. So the name and fame has like a huge grip over our awareness. You may ask why? Why on earth? The thing is that it has of course, survival roots, survival mechanisms behind it. Because as humans, we cannot survive by ourselves. We cannot survive by ourselves. So it's very important for your survival to be in a group. And in order to be in a group, you have to have the group accepting you to it. This is why if you are not accepted to a group, this is very painful and very scary. This is why if you look at it, if you dig a little bit into your psyche, you'll see that you're doing a lot in order to be accepted, in order to be, of value to others. So many times, we are pleasing others in order to be accepted. We are doing a lot to be accepted. Once we are accepted, thank God, now the next level is to make sure that you are going up the ranks in this group. Because if you have more value in the group, you are getting deeper and inner, which means the group is protecting you. In the beginning, you are in the circumference, which means you are the protection of the group. But being the protector of the group means that you are very, very vulnerable. You are now the shield, which means you are getting the arrows. You are accepting it to get the arrows in order to be accepted in the group. But as you accepted in the group, now you say, well, I want to be protected. I don't want to get the arrows. I want the group to protect me from the arrows. So we are doing a lot to get there. We are doing a lot of effort to getting the group to praise us. Because as the praise grows, the value grows, and the group will make sure that I will be protected. So we don't even realize it, that this ability to be praised is like our insurance policy. If we are praised, it means that we are protected. So Krishna says, in censure and in praise, keep your attention inwards. Bring it to the source. Realize that this light of awareness that illumines, what's it? That illumines the time. That illumines heat and cold, pleasure and pain, victory, defeat, censure and praise. This light is ever the same. Make this light and make this realization your mainstay. Make this light and make this realization your support. Because if you are trying to secure your happiness and your sense of security by heat and cold, they are coming and going very, very fast, never lasting long. Just endure them. Also, pleasure and pain, these are just fluctuations in the mind. Victory and defeat. Nobody can just be victorious all the time. No matter how strong he is, no matter how wise he is, as time passes, karma changes and other forces will come, decay will come, you will be everybody. As long as you have a body, everybody will be defeated. Everybody. And eventually, censure and praise. Learn to find that reality, which is unchanging, which is eternal, which is the one that supports all these experiences, and know this reality to be who you are. A true yogi accepts his present condition, whatever it is. It makes no difference. He is going to keep his mind in the same steady one-pointed state. So, a true yogi accepts his present condition. It doesn't mean that the yogi is not trying, to better the situation. It's not that, okay, I don't understand, I accept it, this is who I am. No. Of course, the yogi is growing, but the yogi accepts that right now I may not understand. It doesn't make me a failure. It's just a point in the continuum of my learning. It's just a point in the continuum of my growth. If a plant is just, every one of these trees, I remember, maybe I'll just finish with this. I remember one day, after having a discussion with my teacher, Swami Supananda, I felt very little. I felt very small, very, very small. not understanding anything. And then I had to go to the bank to do something like deposit for the center. And then going back to the center, there is a boulevard just going towards the center with huge trees, with huge trees. And as I was walking in this boulevard and feeling very, very small, looking at these trees, I had this realization: these huge trees with these big, like really huge trunks, once upon a time were very, very small, tiny, thin plants. But although they were very small, thin plants, at a certain point, they didn't lament, they didn't cry, oh, look at me. No, they just say, look at me. I'm this thin, healthy plant. And, they were irrigated, the sun, sending its beautiful, nourishing, warm rays. And slowly, slowly, they got the minerals from the earth, they got the carbon dioxide from the air, they got the photons from the sun. And slowly, slowly, they grew, they grew, they grew. And after several decades, they became these giant trees. So the yogi is not lamenting his present condition, and he doesn't believe that his present condition will be that condition forever and ever. He's not doomed to be this or to be that. All this and that will be changing by karma. And there is one light of awareness that illumines all these conditions. It is not the conditions. The conditions are just experiences, a continuum of experiences. And He is the light that illumines them all. Om.